hurricane of unprecedented severity devastated the island of Cayman Brac, rendering most homeless and decimated 98% of the coconut trees on the Brac and 40% of those on Little Cayman. To add insult to injury, the coconut disease that struck Grand Cayman would soon arrive in the sister islands. During the 1920s and 1930s, efforts were made to revive the coconut industry, but the efforts were modest and the industry failed to reach its previous level of prosperity.
Information from this historical vignette was sourced from Founded Upon the Seas, A History of the Cayman Islands and Their People by Michael Creighton and the New History Committee.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way, positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk Today.
What is on your mind, Cayman? If you are ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
A pleasant welcome. Thank you so much for joining us, and honored once again to sit here. And as we facilitate a discussion with Open Line set for 1 p.m., what a distinct pleasure to join our friends from the NDC in partnership with the RCIPS. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
Talk Today is reminding you.
Avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Email Talk Today at candw.ky. Let your voice be heard. And now, back to Sterling Dwayne Ebanks. Radio Cayman Talk Today.
Hey, welcome, and thanks for joining us. And as I was driving in earlier, I was thinking back, and perhaps if my good friends across the table would allow me to publicly say thanks, for your efforts. And we had an opportunity not that long ago. I can remember it, so it couldn't have been that long. Where a fantastic police officer was sharing with us certain little tips and tricks and little things that were good. So I said to him, well, could we just say, your name publicly and thank you? He said no, because two things. All of his colleagues do as well or better as he does, so he doesn't want to be singled out, but he wanted it to encompass all of the RCIPS. And he shared with us relative to some of the observations. He didn't name people or places or locations, just generalizing across all 3 islands, where we're not stopping at stop signs, where we're not going through roundabouts, where as a result of what he shared, maybe because you're now cognizant of it, you see it. So there is a stoplight. It turns, red. And that should indicate that maybe you shouldn't be going through. But increasingly, more of us are just driving through as if it's the only vehicle on the road. And we asked, well, why is that practice? He said, who knows? You can issue many tickets, you can warn, you can even stand there. And people still want to proceed. I say that not only to ask us as we go through a discussion, what can we do as individuals to ensure that the societal enforcement of laws, practices, customs, norms, values, whatever, becomes the norm. So to Mr. Simon Miller first, sir, from the NDC, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Sir Sterling, thank you for always having us, sir. I think one of the things that we should continue to do is take opportunities like you're offering us. I think we need awareness, more education, and that education should start as early as in our schools. Make sure that we have structured programs and lessons and everything else, because those young kids are going to make their way on our roads one day.
Yeah. Well, before we ask Sergeant Bellinger, perhaps Mr. Campbell, police media relations, marketing in general, we're often told that repetition is good, not unlike the student who wants to maybe understand the subject. You have it, I don't want to use the word drilled into you, but you have practice. The athlete, the football player, tracking how to make the free kick, the penalty, that much better practice. From the policing perspective, in terms of messaging and communication, getting that out, I want to welcome you. Thank you again for helping us on this side of the table understand what happens, from the policing arm relative to community initiatives, engagement, but also information and awareness.
Yes, thanks for having us as well. From our end, I would agree with Simon and just say that what we try to do is try to target as broad a audience as possible, but have targeted messages for specific groups. And like you said, it's about having the messages kind of constantly there.
Yeah.
And we try to boost them so that they get as much reach as possible. And I think nowadays we're focusing on small, short, digestible messages that you can kind of remember. So whenever you see them, at least you remember this one thing, if you don't remember the whole long spiel.
Yeah. Those salient points that may be not just, talking points, or not just that thing that translates into sound bites used in today's parlance, but actually we take on board. So with that, Sergeant Bellinger, if I may, I ask, NDC does its research and publications and awareness. RCIPS in all its format helps us to say, this is what has happened, this is what we see as a trend, this is what we're concerned about, whatever that is, and we hopefully both as media repeat that, help that to get to where it's targeted audience. But then we, the wider consumers, the public, need to understand it, we need to take it on board. Through you, as just the policing apparatus, you can tell, you can share, you can say, you can do, and hopefully people will replicate. But at some point, your mama spends the whole day long in the kitchen, your dad is there helping, the meal is wonderful and lovingly prepared, it's put before you. But at some point you need to kind of put the spoon in the bowl, you need to eat it. I mean, they could force feed you maybe, but that's not going to work.
You can bring, what's the saying? You can bring the water to the mountain, or the horse to the water.
Oh, I thought you can unwrap the chocolate, but you can't force the guy to ingest it. No, that's not what they say. Okay. That should be a saying.
Well, hello everyone. Like everybody said, it's all a question of education and awareness. We're in a place right now that's not sound for the island. Just reducing your speed by 5 miles an hour can reduce your chances of accidents by 20%. I'm the light vehicle instructor and motorcycle instructor for the RCIPS, and I find that people here drive too close to each other. Okay, a lot of times people tailgate on stops on red lights. People are like one behind the other, and not even room for a pedestrian to go to cross between cars. This is not what we teach the officers, and it's not. We do use the roadcraft system from the British, which has been in going on since the early 1920s and has been revised over the years. What a good tip I can give people is, and basically our system is to look further ahead. All of us right now, I can tell you, when we drive, we look at the vehicle in front of us. And this is where we get into trouble, because we don't see the hazards in front of that vehicle. So we'll see that vehicle stop. Why is he stopping? If you would just lift your eyes and go see what's further ahead. During the training for the officers, it's basically you look at the road as far as you can see the road.
Mm-hmm.
And then you revert back to your vehicle. And then you identify the hazards as you go.
Right.
What does it do? It gives you more time to react.
Uh-huh.
Well, if you just look at the vehicle in front of you, this will not happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we have so many accident rear-enders, fender benders. People are just too close. Another thing, misconception that people have is, I ask my students, what is the distance you need to follow a vehicle? And they're all talking about car lengths and this and that. And it might have been the case earlier on, but it's not. It doesn't work. Because let's say you're traveling at 40 miles an hour and you say, oh, I need 3 vehicle spaces. But what about if you're going 50 and you're going 60? That 3 cars won't stay the same. You'll need more distance. So basically, what you need to do to know if you're riding too close to another vehicle is spot something on the side of the road that's static, not moving.
Like a light pole or something?
A light pole.
Mm-hmm.
The easiest thing to do. Once the vehicle in front of you passes the light pole, you start counting 1001, 1002. If at that 1002 or more you get to that same pole, you're far enough. If you're in that 1 second, you're too close. You need to revert back.
Mm-hmm.
And you double that distance in slippery roads when it rains.
Right. When we come back, let's chat about that, because I think sometimes some of us thankfully have had fathers specifically who would instruct us, and we were sensible enough to understand that they actually knew what they were talking about through experience but expertise, and we borrowed that. Some of us now, maybe media and other things, have it has to believe that fathers have no sense. That's most unfortunate. But willing to listen anymore. So instruct us, no pun intended, guide us so that we get to that space where we're safe.
Yeah.
And we can actually arrive alive. That's not a bad thing. Can we chat about that when we come back?
Absolutely.
All right.
No problem.
I want to invite you to join us, and if you can take a second, maybe listen, this would be a good time, because we want you to not just be safe, but enjoy your journeys. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
Ho, ho, ho! Santa here, letting you know that I can't wait to see you all at my grotto at Bayshore Mall. I will be there with my friends from Kirk Freeport from Thursday the 19th December right up until Christmas Eve. Check kirkfreeport.com to see my daily schedule. I will be in my grotto in the afternoon each day, but earlier on Christmas Eve, Santa will have a special gift and sweet treats for every boy and girl, and Christmas music filling the air. Merry Christmas! See you soon at Bayshore Mall. Love, Santa and everyone at Kirk Freeport.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
December is here, but there's still time for that Miami trip before Christmas. Cayman Airways has added several extra flights from Grand Cayman to Miami, perfect for a weekend getaway and to catch that increased duty-free allowance for Cayman residents. But hurry, word is getting round, so those extra seats not going to last long. Book your Miami seats online at CaymanAirways.com or call them on 949-2311. All aboard Cayman Airways with extra flights to Miami before Christmas.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? and Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Jingle bell, pick up your feet. Christmas shopping at Le Classic cannot be beat. Quality style, luggage and leather, shoes that make you feel like you're walking on feathers. So step on in before stepping out. Come see what your friends are all talking about. We're here at the Strand, it's the season of cheer. Christmas time is here.
Merry Christmas from Le Classique. Come see us in the Strand, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us, and thanks again publicly both to the NDC in particular for facilitating these discussions and to extending the partnerships, not just to sponsors, but very specifically to the RCIPS, so that together, and in the presence of Sergeant Bellinger, I mean, I recognize that there is an enforcement aspect through legislation of the policing. My perception would be that, yes, laws and legislation would be enacted and enforced, but the preference would be, hey, let's do this so that we can spend time doing what's more important and everybody driving safely and sensibly because we understand what we're doing. A fair perception?
Well, yeah, especially for the traffic division, there's always been an enforcement aspect.
Right.
Okay, it's like that throughout the world. Unfortunately, it's been found that when you hit people in their own pockets, they seem to listen more.
Mm-hmm.
We've given many tickets now over the years. Enforcement's always present. And right now, we're still targeting speeding, tinted window, cell phones, and all of that. Cell phones. Why are still people holding their phones when you have Bluetooth that now costs $25, $30?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense. I've stopped a car that had Bluetooth in the vehicle, but the lady was talking on the phone to her ear, because she didn't know how it functioned. Mm-hmm. We need to get away from that. The law is there to be respected. A lot of time when officers do enforcement for traffic, they'll be told, why are you bothering me? Go and arrest real criminals. Well, that's a little narrow-minded because serious stuff happens behind the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
I had my first sergeant 37 years ago telling me, you have two weapons. Because I worked in Canada, I had my firearm and I had my vehicle. That kills people.
Mm.
People need to understand before they get in the vehicle, do an inspection. How many of you know if your brake lights work in the back? When's the last time you checked them?
With that, talking about illumination, I think many of our vehicles, the newer ones, we're so accustomed to automatically set that they come on at certain times, and only again from
running daylights.
Yeah. Some people assume that it's on, but inadvertently they've hit the switch somewhere, and at night, thankfully our streets are wonderfully illuminated, so you sometimes don't even need in terms of your visibility, but are you visible to oncoming vehicles? So checking that would be helpful.
Yes.
Small tips. Mr. Miller, every year and throughout, the 12 months, NDC attempts to constantly keep that message. This time of year, a greater emphasis.
Yep.
What do you want us as a listening public? And hopefully we're not speaking to the choir, as they say.
Hopefully not. When you think about it, we're talking about, the way in which we sort of move around our small island in our cars. And this is a beautiful place to segue into, you're thinking about people and hopefully nobody's intoxicated and in the middle of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But now when you include alcohol into this process of driving, which already, from listening to Sergeant Bellinger, it's already evident that it's a challenge for many people because we're still having these little nuances of collisions. Place alcohol, in that picture, in that conversation, and that increases by hundreds of percentage, of these collisions happening, and those things are preventable. And that's the message that we're trying to get out there. It's preventable. So that's why part of the Arrive Alive campaign is to try and encourage people to designate drivers. Make your plans, before you go out. It doesn't have to be only during the holiday season. We want it to be all year. We want to become a part of your practice. When you're going out on weekends, when you're going out in the evening, whether you're going to get a few glasses of wine, you're going out to dinner, start to make this become a part of your practice.
Look at it from that perspective. Our parents and our teachers and our coaches can tell us, but we need to somehow take that on board and as Simon is sharing, the idea that this needs to be part of our practice. From your and your team's perspective of the messaging, communicating not just timely and effective, but hopefully we now take it on board. How do we do that? I mean, saying and knowing and doing, always the same thing, huh?
So, as in from the public's perspective, how do we as members of the public incorporate this into our lives?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's just something that you have to keep in mind. It's in terms of what your priorities are.
Yeah.
So if it's a message that you keep seeing is something that's important to you, and I guess as a member of the public and the community, seeing the effects of what goes wrong when some of these collisions happen, it's a case where you look at what the options are, coordinate with your friend group, and I think everybody kind of has to be on the same page in terms of wanting to do this and do things the right way, so that you can coordinate with your friends to make your plans. Whoever's going to be the designated driver, or if not, you all pitch in to get some other form of transportation if you're all going to be drinking.
All right. Sergeant Bell, that almost sounds like we keep saying, well, that's common sense. But for some reason, at some point, we don't seem to subscribe to that. If I could ask through you, there's the messaging there that your media department tries to get to us. There's a research, there's a program, the NDC. If it's okay from the sort of enforcement aspect, the actual real-time, on-the-ground things that your colleagues in the traffic would see, not just the resource allocation to us as drivers who say, oh, wait, we'll arrest real criminals. Well, if we're being consumed with all this stuff, then the real criminals really don't have that much attention, because now all of a sudden we got to have questions about how we're using and abusing our vehicles on the roads. What are some of the real things that are happening that we may be not cognizant of as the wider public, that if we could take on board, make it safer, more sensible, better resource allocation?
Well, right now the traffic division is due to expand when resources are available, and it's always a question of resources that we have issues with. Following that, people need to realize that the Traffic Act is a serious thing. It's not something that was written for people who don't know how to drive. It's something that's there for the whole community and population to adhere to. And I believe that they need to take it more seriously.
Okay. I did a quick, again, it's not a survey. It's certainly not empirical. It's not at all even meant to be scientific, but just get an understanding from sort of the people around me and ask them what are some of the issues they saw, what are some of the challenges. two immediate things. Well, there's so many of us from different driving backgrounds that we're kind of confused. Is there a fast lane and a slow lane? If so, which one? What is and how is, and all these things. And is that part of the issue? Perhaps we're not quite sure. Well, what obtains, as Mr. Kurt will talk about.
Well, there's no ifs and buts about the Traffic Act. Okay. It is what it is. That's why government has written it, and it's the guideline to follow.
Okay.
It's not what you think. It's what the guidelines tell you should do.
All right. And I'm not going to try to belabor it, but I think sometimes some of the simplest things we ignore. I believe, and I am going to question it because, one, my father told me, and two, it seems to make sense. There's a stop sign. If I can't read, it certainly is universal. I probably can read that. And there's a traffic light. There's the red one, there's the green one, and sometimes there's someone in between that people might understand. But they tell you what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any interpretation there? That stop sign is a suggestion, or is that actually... I'm not trying to be facetious, but I'm just wondering.
It's not a suggestion. Basically, if you go and read the Traffic Act, you need to stop your vehicle at the corner for at least 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay? The 4 wheels need to be stopped at the junction. So a rolling stop sign is illegal. An American stop sign is illegal. You need to stop your vehicle, make sure that all 4 wheels have stopped at the junction, then go through it.
All right. Maybe for another time, so that we understand some of the practices, but this could be part of our challenge in that we may drive in North America, and this lane indicates this is what you do. For those of us who drive in the UK, my understanding is this lane over here, you get in, you use that to overtake. Is that the word?
Yes, overtake. There's undertaking too, which happens a lot. Basically, if you have a road with 2 lanes in the same direction, the right lane is there for overtaking. So if you're cruising at 40, let's take another example, Esterly Tibbetts. We have 2 lanes going towards West Bay. The right lane should be used to overtake the vehicles in the left lane. But as soon as you overtake, you're supposed to come back in the left lane. Okay. The cruising lane is the left lane. The overtaken lane is the right lane. And by doing so, we will hopefully cut the numbers of undertaking. Because undertaking is basically overtaking on the wrong side. So you're overtaking on the left side, which people do not think you will be coming from, and a lot of accidents happen that way.
But we also see, and thankfully not as much now as was previously, but even on that particular road, there's a little bit of space between that left lane and where the road is physical and the constructed. The shoulder, not the knee pan. And people will actually go into that lane
to overtake, and
that's undertaken as well. Dangerous habit, because there might be other people in that lane, leads to which we got a cyclist designation. So, to your point, if we're driving on that Estelibus, 2 lanes going in the same direction, we got into the right lane, the one closest to the median, and we, pass that
you
car.
Overtake the vehicle you want to overtake and go back in the left lane.
My understanding, in some roads in the UK, if you drive in that right lane and you're not overtaking, it's an offence and you can get a ticket, and it'll probably happen quickly.
Yeah, well, the major highways in England, most of them are more than 2 lanes, 3 and 4 lanes. But yeah, the far right of the road is for overtaking vehicles traveling at high speed.
Okay.
You have the left lane and the middle lane for cruising.
So here, but this is part of where I think we come in. So in that discussion that we were having earlier, we were sharing, someone says, well, okay, you got 2 lanes, and you're in that lane. If everybody's in the left lane, that lane is empty, so we're still back to a 1-lane highway. So what's the point of that other lane? It was much more animated than that, but help us to understand how
well, in the case of traffic congestions, yes, you will fill out both lanes, but there won't be any overtaking or undertaking because traffic's not moving.
Okay.
So you will use all the road that's available to you. I'm just saying at a normal traffic flow.
Okay.
That's what you should do.
So in sort of asking Sergeant Bells to sort of expound on it, sort of brings us back to where if we are in any way impaired, it may affect our judgment, our response time. As you go into this campaign led by NDC, what do you tell us? I mean, what do we take on board so that tomorrow, is even a more enjoyable day than today? and tomorrow after that, even better.
Absolutely, and we're smack into holiday season. We want to be safe, Sir Sterling. We want to be home with our loved ones and our families, and being impaired under alcohol or any other substance for that matter. We seriously we discourage that sort of behavior. We don't want that at all.
I want you to share with us, and I'm cognizant of the remaining 4 minutes or thereabouts, but Ms. Campbell, again, sometimes we preach to the choir inadvertently. Sometimes we preach to the choir because they're the only ones in attendance, and yet your team and your message and all the platforms, you're trying to be as exhaustive as possible. As you shared, condense the message so the salient points are there. Our attention spans presumably not what it used to be. So, what do you, and again, how to ensure that we understand what we are doing without it necessarily just being the captive audience, the choir?
How do we reach a wide audience? Well, yes, like I said earlier, it's just about saturating, I guess, as many different outlets as possible. So, signs on the road, signs, messaging on social media, that goes beyond just the followers. So that's where you have the sponsored posts.
All right.
And also the word of mouth, right, where you try to get the message to as many people as possible. And if it's the choir, then at least the choir can also preach, right? So
they can sing in unison, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So
what are some of those salient points, though, that I started to talk about, don't use a cell phone, we talk about seatbelts, speed limits, stop signs. Those are things that we should know, but emphasis or other things that maybe needs to be emphasized?
Yeah, no, I think those are the main things that we are pushing. So it's the big one is avoiding driving under the influence, avoiding excessive speeding, and avoiding distracted driving, because those are the three main.
Inconsiderate driving, which can be anything from using your cell phone, putting on makeup in the morning, reading the paper. This is all things you should not be doing while you are in traffic. It is dangerous. And driving is an activity that needs all your attention. Okay? It's a changing activity. It changes every second that you're on the road. So you need to have your eyes there and not doing something else because you're used to driving from point A to point B. Nothing ever happened in 20 years, but it's going to be the 20 years in one day that something's going to happen.
Yeah. Things are different now than they were 20 years ago. 20 yards from now, if you're not aware, God forbid something could.
Yes.
All right. Mr. Miller, I'm hoping and looking forward to not just a very safe and enjoyable, rest of this year, but our practices, our habits, our norms would be that every day as we move about our roads in whatever form, it will be safe.
Yeah.
With lots of hazards in many ways, some of which we create. What do you want to emphasize from the NDC's perspective?
Responsibility, making that conscious decision to be responsible in all aspects of the whole driving experience, from everything that these two gentlemen mentioned, and certainly not to be inebriated in any fashion form, and certainly if you're out this holiday season and you decide to, go out and enjoy, and part of that enjoyment involves alcohol, then please make sure you have your plans in place, how you going to get home.
I was contemplating based on the discussion that we had earlier with some individuals and wanting to ask, and I'm not quite even sure, so I'm going to continue it after to ask the wider public. A fellow said they were out just recently, and one of the guys in the group, they had a challenge, my words, of trying to persuade him. We know you're not intoxicated. We can see that. You did have a drink. We know that because please do not drive. Let us take you. And that was an argument, and his words, the egos of some. He was asking, how do we now get that person to understand that it's not a weakness, it's not that we think there's an issue, we just don't want any possibility.
Yeah, it's not a thing you can take a chance on.
Yeah.
So
because it has very, very serious consequences.
Yeah.
So what do we do? And he said at the end of the day, it was just luckily that there was one other person who could, and no pun intended, he said, literally weigh in and said to the guy, you got two choices. You can find your way elsewhere, or you will come with one of us. But these keys in my hand are going to you. Now, that should not have happened, right? But for whatever reason, they were insistent. I don't know how to make that appeal to us to say, hey, your friend is looking for you. It's out of that love, So how do we get people to that space?
Good question.
I don't have an answer.
It's not because we're not trying.
Okay.
Well, sometimes at the end of the day, the only thing that would really you see all these things, and you know the natural human impulse is to think it doesn't affect you or it won't affect you. So it's not until it affects you that it will become real. Unfortunately, sometimes that will be what it takes for some people.
Yeah, I'll share that story somewhat after, but I wanted to see if I could have an answer. There is none. It comes back to the individual responsibility.
People need to be willing to change and do the change and be serious about it.
All right.
And next time we need to have a psychologist on the show so they can give their insights on the human condition.
You see, thank you. That's a wonderful suggestion.
See, one of the excuses I got throughout the years is, I don't want to leave my vehicle there because then the next day I don't have it and I need to take a taxi to go get it. But the furthest point on the island is 45 minutes away. How far is your vehicle? And how hard is it to take a taxi that night and go get it back the next day with some of your friends driving you there?
Yeah.
It's easy, but people don't want to leave their cars there. Nothing's going to happen to it. Leave it there. Be sensible. And come and take it the next day.
All right. That's a good way to leave us with. Thanks very much, Mr. Miller. Looking forward to you. And I'm hoping as people, we've heard this message before. Maybe this is a new take on it. It comes back to your word, responsibility.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us as always, my brother.
Muchas gracias, señor. All right, we're going to pause and take a break. When we come back, you know what? Let's conduct it in French. Parlez-vous le français?
Oui, monsieur.
Ah, si. My goodness. Join us after.
Cayman Vets has doubled their reward money for a missing dog. A $10,000 reward is now up for the return of a missing dog that goes by the name of Spiky Haggis. No questions will be asked and no further action will be taken if Spiky is safely returned. The $10,000 reward is for a limited time only. Offer expires on January 1st. Spiky is blonde in color and is a Pomeranian mix with a distinctive scar above his left hip. Spiky went missing mid-November in the area of Selkirk Drive and Bimini Drive. Cayman Vets is asking that if you have seen Spiky, a blonde Pomeranian mixed dog, to please call or take a picture and send it to 525-5838. That's 525-5838.
December is here, but there's still time for that Miami trip before Christmas. Cayman Airways has added several extra flights from Grand Cayman to Miami, perfect for a weekend getaway and to catch that increased duty-free allowance for Cayman residents. But hurry, word is getting round, so those extra seats not going to last long. Book your Miami seats online at CaymanAirways.com or call them on 949-2311. All aboard Cayman Airways with extra flights to Miami before Christmas.
Are you planning a social, an office party, or event over the holiday season? Make the most of your holiday party and leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway Box to Go with the option of a 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips. Cater your holiday parties with Subway. Visit subway.ky for menu options. Subway, eat fresh.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Merry Christmas from Robert Wood Furniture and Interiors to all my friends, family, and clients. I'd like to bring you a holiday special on all our products in store with a very special Christmas discount. Save 25% on everything in the store and receive a discount on special orders. Please shop from December 16th through the 21st and enjoy all of our year-end savings. We are located in the Cayman Center on Orion Roberts Drive or online at robertwoodky.com. or call us on 949-7765. Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year to all friends, family, and clients.
a caring and community spirit, cherished family and cultural values. These are some of the things that still embodies the Caymanian way of life in the Eastern Districts today. Savannah Pharmacy, your neighborhood pharmacy, located in Countryside Shopping Village, is delighted to offer products and services of real value. Whether it's catering to your family's medical needs or carrying apparel, gifts, and beauty products, Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they're always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
Prescription refills made easy at Savannah Pharmacy. WhatsApp your prescription refills to 929-5045.
Reflections annual countdown to Christmas sale is on now. Ladies, save 50 to 75% off selected fashion clothing, selected Adidas, Puma, and Nike sneakers discounted from 25 to 50% off. Make your gift giving super easy this year by getting Reflections gift certificates for everyone on your list. Converse kicks starting at $25 and bargains galore throughout the store. Guys, cargo pants, big and tall, $5.50. Levi's and selected Docker pants, 25% off. Every purchase above $49 at Reflections gives you the opportunity to win 2 free tickets to any Cayman Airways destination of your choice. Open Monday to Thursday, 9 a.m. till 8 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. Shop Reflections on Shen Road beside the Mango Tree.
See yourself in Reflections.
Reflections, always driving down prices.
Shop at Funky Tangs, the home of electronics and more. Check out Funky Tangs' 2 locations, Shedden Road and Countryside Savannah, for loads of fireworks for the Christmas and New Year celebration. Also in stock at Funky Tangs, stoves, fridges, and small appliances, mini split air conditioning units, computers and televisions, portable radios, CD players and tablets, sheet sets and comforters, all sizes, cell phones and cordless phones, musical instruments, fragrances, and more. Funky Tangs. For more information, call 949-0998. Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year from the management and staff of Funky Tangs.
This is the People's Radio Station. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
The Financial Reporting Authority, FRA, has issued a warning about a fraudulent entity called Cayman Crypto Bank, which falsely claims to be licensed in the Cayman Islands. The FRA clarified that it does not regulate such entities, and there is no Cayman Crypto Bank registered with the Cayman Islands Companies Registry or the Cayman Islands Monetary Authority, CIMA. This scam is a form of phishing, and the public is urged to verify any entity's legitimacy through CIMA's list of regulated entities. Good afternoon, I'm Dion Anglin with your headlines and news elsewhere. The U.S. Supreme Court has agreed to hear last-ditch legal arguments from TikTok as to why it should not be banned or sold in the U.S. The U.S. government is taking action against the app because of what it says are its links to the Chinese state, links which TikTok and its parent company ByteDance have denied. The Supreme Court justices did not act on a request by TikTok for an emergency injunction against the law, but will instead allow TikTok and ByteDance to make their case on January 10th, 9 days before the ban is due to take effect. And NASA says that the astronauts stuck on the International Space Station will have to wait even longer to get home. Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams were due to be back after just a week when they blasted off in June. Their stay was extended to February next year because of technical issues with the experimental spacecraft Starliner, built by Boeing. Now, following a delay in launching a new capsule to the ISS, the pair won't be back until late March or possibly April. NASA said the delay posed no risk to the astronauts. That's a wrap of your headlines. I'm Dion Anglin.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask?
contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Kirk Market's 12 Days of Gift Cards is back. Each day, 12 lucky customers will win a $100 Kirk Market gift card just for shopping at Kirk Market. Ho, ho, ho! You heard that right. Every day for 12 days with 12 lucky winners each day. Come in December 11th through the 24th and shop. You could win. And there's no minimum required. It's that easy. It's Kirk Market's 12 Days of Gift Cards. December 11th through the 24th. The countdown to Christmas is on at Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands. Hinton Roxroy Connolly was born in Creek, Caymanbrac on 9th of September 1937. Fondly known as Big H to his family and friends, both a sailor and electrical technician with 5 years at sea and 29 years with cable and wireless, in January 1960, Big H married Cicely Dilbert of Creek, Caymanbrac and had 5 sons. In October 1976, he was united in his second marriage to Francine Porter of Spot Bay, Caymanbrac, and they had 1 daughter. Big H was a part of the band Eddie and the Beach Boys, and in August 1977 traveled to New York, where he recorded and published his album A Quick Drink by the Pool Bar. Big H could always be found at the Hilton, his backyard kitchen, which he built in the late 80s to house in yams and cassava he cultivated on the bluff, later converting it into an outdoor kitchen which was named the Las Vegas Hilton. Big H spent the majority of his time at the Hilton, and you would find him playing his guitar and singing his heart out while sipping on his 345 beers. He was known for having many cook-ups with his famous beef and pork. On the evening of Wednesday, 18th September 2019, 9 days after celebrating his 82nd birthday, Hinton passed away peacefully at the Health City Hospital in East End, Grand Cayman. He was the proud father of 6 children, along with 17 grandchildren and 11 great-grandchildren. Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your Sister Islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your Sister Islands.
Discover all that our Sister Islands have to offer.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thank you very, very much for joining us as we invite you to be a part of our discussion. We go straight to the phones. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling. Hello.
Hello, Sterling.
How are you today?
Hello.
Hey, how are you? Yeah, can you hear me?
Bad, you?
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. There you are. No, man. Glad to hear from you. Thanks for calling.
Sterling, your guests still there, or are they gone?
No, sir. They left at the 1 p.m. break.
Okay, I just want to make a little point regarding the gentleman explaining the roads about the right and the left overtaken and this and that. So I think I can kind of set it a little bit better than, I don't think he gave people all of the facts regarding the right-hand lane. All right, he did say that the right-hand lane is for overtaking, which is right if somebody's in the left-hand lane. The left-hand lane is your slow lane, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got 2 lanes or 3 lanes. Your right-hand lane is always your fast lane driving on the left. In the States, it's completely the opposite. Same thing, opposite. But we drive on the left here, so our slow lane is on the left. So if you're on the left and you're not doing the speed limit, if you are not doing the speed limit, you should be in the left lane, right? And if a car come up behind you that wants to overtake, yes, they have the right to overtake in the fast lane. And if they want to slow down in the front of the vehicle that they pass, they go back to the left lane. But if they want to maintain the speed limit on the right-hand side of the road, they have a right to drive the speed limit on the right-hand side of the road. Only in case of an emergency vehicle that comes up behind you to overtake, then you automatically have to pull over to the left. But long as you are doing the speed limit, you are entitled, you have the right to stay in that right-hand lane, because nobody has the right to break the speed limit. So it's no way that people can say, well, you know, I want to do 50 miles an hour, get out of the way, go over to the left. No. The speed limit is 40 miles an hour, and that's what it has to be. So, you know, sometimes you got to give it to people straight so they understand, because sometimes there's misleading that people take sometimes everything people say for granted. And a lot of times that is not the case. So, I mean, that's my 2 cents regarding that. And far as all of my knowledge and driving all over this world, that's how it is once you maintain the speed limit. I don't know if you have any comments to make. I mean, you know.
Well, as I'm listening to you, and thanks for that, someone else is messaging, trying to seek clarification, and maybe in sharing what they have said, maybe I can ask you as well. This individual is saying that given how our roads are and the perhaps lack of understanding as to how we use our roads, but also B, the mixed practices. The person shares that in the US, you know, that fast lane, so to speak, is the outside left lane on their freeways, whereas in Cayman, it's like it's in the UK, it's that inside right lane, and maybe motorists are confused as to what the practice is in Cayman and not knowing because of where they drive or where they're from predominantly. What do you think about that? Is that part of the issue, that there is no sort of clearly defined, established and accepted practice of how we use our roads and our roundabouts by extension?
Well, Dwayne, I 50 or 75% of the people in this country don't have a clue how to drive on the roads to start.
Okay.
But if the same thing applies here as it does in the United States, right? You drive on the right in the United States, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yes? So that is your slow lane, all right? For you now to get in the fast lane, you have to go over to the left. So it's just a reverse of what we have here. And it's pretty simple. If you know the rules and the regulations and everything, it's pretty simple. You know, the fast lane is there to do the speed limit, not to break your neck or break the speed limit or anything regarding that. It is to the people. If the speed limit is 75 miles an hour, you have to be, and you can drive 75, you have to be in that lane. You can't be in the left lane or any other lane, because you can easily get a ticket for that.
Right.
That is why it is situated right and left. And it's pretty simple. You just need to understand that. And I mean, I drove in America, and it's so easy to explain, you know, because they got signs up, but we don't have no signs up here. And they got some people in the middle of the road. I don't know who idea that was. I guess, you know, if they got that kind of money to, you know, just throw away, I mean, I'll be more than happy to take it, you know. But
yes, sir.
It's just the problem is people don't know how to drive, right? We got people on our road that shouldn't be on the road, because they're going down on the highway here. They're doing 25 miles an hour, 15 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour. Okay, and they're in the fast lane. If they would just get over to the left-hand side of the road, so the other person don't have to come up behind you and tailgate you and try to get you to speed up because the traffic is so crazy, then the amount of accidents that we would have I mean, you could probably count them on one hand and still have 5 fingers left. But that's basically what it is. People don't know how to drive.
But for emphasis, and as you just shared that, people don't know how to drive. Two things immediately. One, there is growing contention, allegations, probably even accepted perception that on our roads we have people who don't have a valid driver's license, never had one, or the one that they had has expired. Two, the vehicle isn't licensed, inspected, nor insured. If that is either the contention, the allegation, the perception, or the practice, what do we do about that? If someone going on the road knowing that the vehicle isn't licensed and insured, the driver isn't licensed and insured, how do we address that?
Then from time our government started using these garages to inspection, that was the beginning of the end, because you can go in there at any given time and say, look, I need my car inspected, and here's $100, right? And this is what is happening. This is why you see all of these old cars that should not be on the road. That is the reason for that. And that was the biggest mistake our government has made. And they're still doing it up to today. Why don't we have a government that can have some kind of foresight and pick up on these? I mean, that should have been picked up on from the first year that they started letting the garages. And you know what? They use it as an excuse also to tell you that this is wrong with your car, that's wrong with your car. And half of the things that they're telling you is nothing wrong with you. They're not wrong. They're not bad parts in your car. But it's ways for them to make more money, because they figure, well, if it's a woman coming, she's not going to know better, so I can tell her anything, right? And she going to have to do it because she wants her car inspected. And there's so much of that is going on. And why can't it be stopped? Well, I mean,
again, as you share that, I keep thinking increasingly that it comes back to what the society either is or has become, and is or has accepted. So let's say the last point, a person goes, gets it inspected, and will do almost anything in terms of getting repairs, whether they're necessary or not, in order to get a vehicle inspected. Or a person goes in and is willing to offer the person who is going to be authorized to stop and say it's inspected something, money or otherwise, or the person is willing to demand the payment of that. If just as a what if that is a practice, how do we address that?
Then, as long as we are relying on other countries' people to protect our country from a law-abiding standpoint, we are doomed, because these people that we have here. I remember, when I was growing up, if I got caught out on my bicycle without a license on the back of it, or at night without at least a flashlight, you know what? My bicycle was gone. I didn't have a bicycle anymore. But now they're getting away with all these old electric scooters and all of this kind of stuff on the road. And you can't let other countries come here and think that they can take the pride and whatever else it takes along with that, to care and everything else to make sure that our country is
right. We're starting to
good place to be. No. That's not going to happen, Dwayne.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I was just saying. I certainly encourage your public comments. I certainly welcome your impassioned pleas. But then, if again the wider community is unwilling, lacks the courage, is unsure, isn't feeling supported when, like you, they speak out, the question is, what are we going to do about it?
Well, then That's $1 million question. We just need to get, I just wish, we had politicians like Steve Maxfield in this country. And let me tell you something, things would not be the way or in the mess that this country are in today. Because what happened, Dwayne, when you leave something, like if you got a hole in your roof, right, and you leave that, and you say, "Oh, I got fix it next year," and then next year come, you leave it the same way. Then next year come, "Oh, I got to fix that," and you keep promising yourself. What you think is gonna happen to that? It's gonna get to where, you either can't fix it, you got to tear it down completely. But had you nipped it in the bud, and this is what's been happening in this country, that things that has been going wrong for so long, that they've been leaving it, and now they say, well, all right, this problem we have, how do we address it? Because you neglected your job, you refuse to see what is happening in the country, and you could care less because, your paycheck is good, right? So you can turn a blind eye, but look at what is happening to the country in the meantime. So I don't know what it would take, Dwayne, to answer your questions. I wish I had the answers. I know what it would take, but how do we get those kind of people to say, well, you know what? We're going back to our Caymanian policemen, and we're going back to all our good old Caymanian securities, and the this and the that, and the list goes on and on and on, because we got too many foreign people in this country running too many things in this country, right? And that, if something don't be done about that, there's nothing we can do, because we are letting them dictate to us, what they want and who they can bring to fill in. Their Caymanian can fill in. No, they want their own in there. They don't want to work with Caymanians. They don't want no part of Caymanians. As soon as they get that position, we can bring in our own. I've been on a ship in the Merchant Marines, and we had one particular nationality there, which was called the Greek, from Greek. It's a Greek. And most of those guys was in the engine department. And if any Caymanians was in that department under that gentleman, he did not stop there. He replaced every one of them and got all Greek chief engineer, first engineer, second engineer, third engineer, and oil. And he didn't stop until he get all of his people there. And that is what is happening to us. Look at the security companies. How many Caymanians you see working in these security companies?
No.
They just want to bring their... I don't...
I honestly hear you, and as I'll listen to a couple of individuals have messaged, let me read this one. I think this is the most succinct, but also with respect to what you're saying, where are the Caymanians to fill these positions? Both the politicians as well as in the jobs in the various areas. What's your response to that?
Then we made it get to where it is. Had we not made this country get to where it is, we wouldn't need all of these things, because we would have control of our building and or the growth and everything else. But we made it get completely out of control to where now we are to the mercy of every nationality in the world, and we use it as an excuse because we're growing. But when you let something get too big that you can't handle it, you have to find ways and means to try to get it to work. Whether it means bringing in 1 or 100 people from every different country in the world, that is what happened, right? So that's just the way it is. You don't have 100 kids in your house if you're only a husband and a father, a husband and a wife, and think that you can take care of 100 kids. You be sensible and you have whatever you need in the household or in the country. Don't let it get out of hand like how everything is out of hand in this country right this minute. And we are to blame for it. There's nobody else to blame for it, because we had no people with any kind of wisdom We had nobody that had any kind of foresight that in 2024, this is what the island was going to be like. 2014, this is what the island was going to be like. This is it. No. Nobody cared about where we were going. Even though they saw it, they just turned a blind eye. Oh, you know what? It's going to be okay at the end of the day. It's going to be okay. But it's not going to be okay. It's far from that, because we right now, if our elected officials, right, don't do something about what is happening in this country, I don't know. There's going to be nothing left for you, me, your kids, my kids, or anybody else, because right now, you tell me how many businesses that is on this island that you can go in and find Caymanians working. Caymanians, don't tell me about Caymanians are lazy, right? Don't give me that foolishness, because I'm not buying it, right? But we let this thing get out of hand, and now we're paying the price because of our people that was supposed to be able to see what's going to happen 20, 30, 40 years from now. But no, that's not the case. They don't care.
Sterling? Yes, sir.
I can leave you there. All right.
All right. Well, continue to have the courage and the wisdom and that, willingness to share publicly. Let's pause. Let's think about what he said, and let's invite our callers to join us after the break.
December is here, but there's still time for that Miami trip before Christmas. Cayman Airways has added several extra flights from Grand Cayman to Miami, perfect for a weekend getaway and to catch that increased duty-free allowance for Cayman residents. But hurry, word is getting round, so those extra seats not going last long. Book your Miami seats online at CaymanAirways.com or call them on 949-2311. All aboard Cayman Airways with extra flights to Miami before Christmas.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Kirk Market's 12 Days of Gift Cards is back. Each day, 12 lucky customers will win a $100 Kirk Market gift card just for shopping at Kirk Market. Ho, ho, ho! You heard that right. Every day for 12 days with 12 lucky winners each day. Come in December 11th through the 24th and shop. You could win. And there's no minimum required. It's that easy. It's Kirk Market's 12 Days of Gift Cards. December 11th through the 24th. The countdown to Christmas is on at Kirk Market.
'Tis the season at Vigoro, and we've got all your festive favorites. From Christmas ornaments to decorations, succulents to ceramics. We've got gifts galore. Pots, blooms, orchids, garden accessories, furniture, even fairy gardens for the little ones. Make it a Vigoro Christmas with a gift that'll be treasured forever. Our Agricola location will be open Christmas Eve from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Merry Christmas from Vigoro.
Kay's Fine Jewelry, luxury with a family touch. This holiday season, make memories sparkle with Kay's Fine Jewelry. From diamond rings to their Caribbean-inspired turtle collection, find gifts as unique as our beautiful Cayman Islands. Enjoy a beverage with your holiday shopping and find out why Kay's Fine Jewelry is ranked #1 for shopping in the Caribbean. Take advantage of exclusive holiday discounts on engagement rings, men's jewelry, their iconic Flexi jewelry collection, or explore their luxurious watch selection featuring top brands like Hamilton and Rado. This holiday season, shop Kay's Fine Jewelry, where luxury meets the heart of the Caribbean. Kay's Fine Jewelry, located on Albert Panton Street, across from the House of Parliament.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back and thanks for joining us. Couple calls. Let's go to the WhatsApp caller first. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Sterling. How are you?
I'm very thankful. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Thankful as well, too.
Good to hear. Good to know.
Yeah. Sterling, you know, the 2024 is going to be ending very soon. And we are talking practically about the same thing year in and year out. And I wish that when I wake up on God's willing, wake up the 1st of January 2025, that'll be a magic bullet that turn things around to better us here in this island. Because, Sterling, the tension that we are feeling on this island now, it is not healthy and it doesn't worth it. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And I went to the airport this morning to drop off a family member. And I don't know what came over me, Sterling, but when I got there at that departure lounge and saw all of those, what do you call those guys that do the luggage? I don't know what you can call them. The guys that do the luggage, when you pull up there, they want to come take a luggage from you. I don't know what to call them. But anyhow, when I saw them, I am like, I don't believe this. That can't have been going on now. I must be from day one. And those family members has built this island. And you know what I mean when I say build the island, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And to see that this is 2024, we got children, young teenagers graduating every year. And you can't see one up there coming to get this luggage to make a little tip plus their salary. Sterling, something really truly needs to be done. I will listen to some of the debate, I guess it was pre-recorded on radio came on. Some of those members in that house been saying popping out some real serious words of their mouth, what they want to do and what they're not going to do. And to hear that kind of talk coming from our house, I don't know if I ever heard that before in all of my life, but it was some strong words. And I hope that some of the things that they said, they can nip it in the bud and look out even more to be the Caymanians. And when you get the other side and that side to ask you questions, how are you going to monitor this and how are you going to monitor that? Sterling, I'll give an example. Just like when they did the Lynn for Person Road, right? People was concerned about getting into Randike and everywhere else. They got to go around to the roundabout to come back up to get to Randike, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, now they got an opening round the roundabout there by Agnes Way to go into some apartments, which is on the left-hand side. You got to shoot across now to get over there, coming to the roundabout and stop and go. Now, that is a crucial entrance or exit, they want to call it, open there for those guys. I have been very close in the morning, 6 o'clock, in the afternoon, coming back to work, close accidents about to happen with me. Now, just how they can make everybody drive up to the roundabout to go to Randite, why did NRA look into that and say, you know what, these guys here has to go up to the roundabout to come down, cross the Randite entrance and come down around the bad corner and go into their apartment. So to say all that, to say this, we will never get anything in place if we got to look for be able to reach out and touch it, one step and we're in the door, one step and we're across the street. Cayman is small, but let me tell you something. These roads out here, sometimes I wonder if I'm in Miami or Tampa, the way that they're driving, because they're all uncalled for. Sterling, a couple of days, remember last week when the young guy got killed up on the bypass going to Newlands? Crichton? Okay. Well, there's a little, where that accident happened, it got one little kind of slight little bend, but nothing major. I was going home yesterday morning, and if I was doing 35 miles an hour, I was doing 30. Sterling, I'm going there driving, just crossed where the accident happened. And all I saw was when this car was in the next lane and went flying. But then again, when I look real good, the other car was side to side with my car. A partner of them has been racing. And I'm like, he practically almost took my mirror, my side mirror off.
Wow.
This other went up and they were flying until they got to the stop sign, and they couldn't move because the cars were coming left and right. So they finally shoot out and went up across Foster's. I don't know what it's going to take for some of these people to slow down. At Sterling, we got people ahead driving, going to the liquor store and buying a beer or a nip and mixing it with sodas and driving and drinking. And I not got no one to tell me this. I witnessed this as I move around in my little baby island. You understand? Something needs to be done. I don't know what it is, but something needs to be done and need to be done fast. And they're talking about making these work permit holders to have a license to fish in our waters. Sterling, I'm quite sure it can work if they go and do their research, because we cannot keep allowing what is happening in our waters and what's happening on our land.
But it's, as I listen to you, I'm just quickly looking at a message from two individuals. They're agreeing with you relative to your sentiments. But one, and I'll ask it as this is written, one is asking, is it too late? How do you respond? Is it too late for us to do anything?
It's not too late, Sterling.
Okay.
We can nip anything we want in the bud here if we want to. But we have to want to have a better island again, because then we gone too far. We stretched ourselves out like bubble gum. And everybody's taking advantage of it. And I got to tell you something, Sterling. I was listening to a pastor on the TV this weekend, and you know what he said? Stop apologizing.
Was that
I thought about me and you.
Yeah, you know, thank you for sharing that. But let me ask, was that a pastor in the local community? Was that something that was from another?
That was on a TV station, a TBN, or one of those stations that are up on a Christian channel, Christian channel.
And that kind of ties in with what the second message reads, in that it says, I'll slightly paraphrase and use, so we are accommodating into apologetic, all right, because it's like sort of who we are. We always preface it, and as you said, that I think that unfortunately that's how we are. We see it as being polite and proper, but perhaps sometimes it's misconstrued and used against us. So
yes.
The other part of that same message ask, will people accept it? I responded to the person, and then they came back to me. There was a little clarification and emphasized that if the politician, right, put in brackets, government, decides that this is going to be laws that are there now are going to be enforced, this is going to be the new norm, as it were, whether it's about this or that, traffic, fishing, citizenship, whatever, right? This is what this person is sharing. And they're important things, and they're for the betterment of the country long term, but there's a little bit of short-term adjustment. This is where I'm paraphrasing from what the person shared. Will we, the country, accept it? We know it's good. We know it's necessary, long overdue. And the person has written that and asking, will we accept it? Will we acknowledge it and go along with it and help to bring it about? What do you think?
We got to come forward, man, and do what is right.
Okay.
We got to remember where we're coming from. And we got a lot of young generation now that probably not accepting where we come from. They want to go and be advanced. And
Right.
this is what the world is all about, being advanced in a lot of stuff that has no merits to it, has no use to it. But some people want to be in it. But me and you and my brother that's called the station and many more elder ones, they not came out with change. But we have to change it with the condition that the government watches what's happening and say, no, something, this is going a little bit too far. We got to nip this while we can, because then too many governments is coming into the government and nobody's practically doing anything. And if they make a law, it doesn't stand up.
Right.
We got to stop being nice to a degree, because then people are taking our kindness for weakness.
But let me then ask two things, not just to you directly, but maybe generally. Certainly, I always invite, clarification and edification. I don't have an issue whether it's because the person is mean and malicious. If you wish to challenge whatever I say, that's fine. It just makes me, better at either defending my position or better at now being, better informed. So two things. One, is what is being said now, whether as the parliamentarians in the Legislative Assembly or would-be pundits because of their political hopefuls, whomever, is what is being said now because we have the expectation that an election is not that far away.
Sterling, I was thinking the same thing. Is this all election talk that's going on in the House right now? Because God knows, and I pray it's not, because they will be taking us for a bigger fool in this island. A bigger fool.
Well,
and I'm just asking the people of these islands, all of the other people that's going to run for election next year, I don't know where they are, and I don't know who they is. But I just want to say, if they're going to just come out at the last minute and think for a second that people are going to just vote them in because they're familiar with them or whatever the case may be, I say that majority of the government is in now. My belief, majority of them is getting back in, because I don't know what these other ones are waiting on. They should be knocking doors from long time ago. Not because in the rally runs for only a month and a half or two, that doesn't mean you can't come out and introduce yourself.
Right.
Come out and talk to your people.
Your point just before last, they're taking us for a fool. People can take you for a fool. People can play you for a fool. Not you personally, right? But it's for you, the person, to allow it to happen, right? That's saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So someone, whether it's the politician, whether it's the business, whether whomever, if they take you for a fool and you allow them, well, end of the day, you got to decide to what extent and in what way you wish to engage and accept, right? So I say that to ask, we can be kind, but we can still be firm and fair. We can be kind, but the scripture says, never discipline in anger. If you are a responsible, caring, loving, committed, involved parent, you're going to be kind to your child, but you may insist, listen, it's bedtime. You may be restless, but let's see if we can get you to bed, because presumably that's a good thing, not just because of what tomorrow brings, school, sports, or whichever, but just to get to bed. you may also have to step back and go, well, why is the child restless? Was it what you allowed the child to eat? Or what you found out? The child has had a whole pile of sugar or whatever. Maybe the child is really excited about the thing, and you need to spend time saying, hey, I know tomorrow's a big day, but you pray with, you talk, you read. So you now, as the parent, need to do something. It may not be any of that. The child might just decide that, well, my friend, gets to stay up late. You say, well,
why can't I? Why can't I?
So you're being kind, you're being fair, but you're also, as the parent, saying, listen, this is how it goes, and you try to explain it. I think...
Sterling, I know you have to be nice and kind, and that's where we're coming from. But and even though it is changing, it doesn't mean that we must change.
Right.
But Sterling, we got to be careful how we say and what we do when it comes to helping someone, giving a handout, or if you know that this person got to come and just use you, when you can't do no more for the individual is going and turn it back on you. And a lot of that's here in Cayman. We got a lot of that here in Cayman.
Well,
but Sterling, I don't know, but the people on this island, the few Caymanians that is left, they need to get up and speak up and fight for what we got left. Because Sterling, we don't have that much left, because we got more foreigners in our country, and they are owning businesses all over the globe. They're owning homes. They're owning cars. They got their money. They got their job. And we are here wondering, some of us, where our next meal coming from.
Right.
Sterling, when I sit down and see what is happening with our people, and NAU is dishing out left, right, and center, and nobody tends to try to find a job. It's just generation after generation going to NAU. And I always say, if I ever have to go there, Sterling, it ain't gonna be nothing for me, because I work every day. And I not getting a salary to take me to the whole month, because then they're making sure that NAU got their money to take care of these other people. I don't have a problem with that to a degree. But God forbid if I got to depend on them in the future, what's going to happen to me? And I work. I got 6 going into my 17th year with school as the bus warden. And let me tell you something, Sterling. This is the best job I ever had in my life. The best job I ever had. And I got to let you go. But at the credit union yesterday, they had Georgetown Primary children that's singing. What a beauty. I walked down Georgetown Primary for 1 year and went back to high school. And a couple of students that was there singing, they saw me. Sterling, they grabbed onto me like there was no tomorrow. All I could have felt was tears, water coming to my eyes, and my skin came full of goosebumps.
Yes. That
I
love.
had one particular boy, he wouldn't let me go. And we just keep talking, and these children grow on you.
Yeah,
they can give you some trouble now, don't get me wrong, but they're children, but they need discipline.
And love.
At home, love, discipline at home and love, as well as in school.
Yeah.
And some kids are just looking extra attention. And when you give that to them, man, let me tell you something. If you missed one day on the bus, they want to know where you is.
Yeah. Well,
why didn't she come yesterday?
You and all of the bus attendants, you and Miss Phyllis and others, thank you guys for that love that you share and you show to our children. So thank you so much for that, all right?
All right, thank you. Later.
All right, later. Do we take a pause? When we come back, we ask you to join us. Stay tuned.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
This holiday season, Subway is serving up something sweet. Introducing the Footlong Cookie. It's ooey gooey and packed with chocolate chip perfection. The ultimate sweet sidekick to your favorite sub, salad, pizza, or catering platter. Whether you're treating yourself or sharing the joy, the Footlong Cookie is the perfect bite of holiday cheer. But don't wait. This limited time delight won't last forever. Visit one of their 7 locations, 4 of which are open 24 hours, and grab your foot-long chocolate chip cookie, because who says dessert can't go the extra mile? Subway, fresh for the holidays.
December is here, but there's still time for that Miami trip before Christmas. Cayman Airways has added several extra flights from Grand Cayman to Miami, perfect for a weekend getaway and to catch that increased duty-free allowance for Cayman residents. But hurry, word is getting round, so those extra seats not going last long. Book your Miami seats online at CaymanAirways.com or call them on 949-2311. All aboard Cayman Airways with extra flights to Miami before Christmas.
Life's best moments are precious. Taking the time to cherish them with those we love is the most important thing in the world. At Cineco, we've got you covered for all these moments, helping you take care of your health, supporting your family's next move, and making sure those you care about are protected on the road. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
The best foundation you can wear is glowing, healthy skin. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter specialize in enhancing your skin's well-being. Whether you're seeking advanced skincare, including any skin cancers, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drportercayman@gmail.com or call 946-9020. That is 946-9020.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Boddentown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Boddentown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thank you very much for joining us. And man, to see people engaged and informed and sharing their thoughts and hopefully to inspire and encourage others as you feel nurtured, supported, but also courageous. So thanks for sharing. I think the caller is right. You can and you must and you should still be kind, but it doesn't mean that you can't and should not be courageous and do the right thing. Let me read, and I'll do it as it's sent. Just want to correct John, that was the last caller. That Flowers family didn't quote-unquote build Cayman. Mr. Flowers was just another one that found their way to Cayman and used their people, their good passive nature to wreak havoc on us. They never built Cayman. Please reiterate to her. Thank you. And what? 3 exclamation marks. Well, what's your view on anything else? Share with us. 949-8037, 949-6990. You can WhatsApp call, message, voice note, however you use that particular platform. 926. What's the number, sir? 925-3261? You sure? You ever hear something said for the first time because you hear it said in a different voice, accent, or even tune, well, it's always good to be reminded. All right. This message, click and pull up. So Ms. Jan corrects, she was saying, she was talking about buying their blocks to build the island. All right. 949-8037, 949-6990, and 925-3261 is the WhatsApp. A number of individuals have shared some messages in relation to something that's in the media about potentially, it's termed at one of the other media houses on CNS, the mystery government deal. Maybe we'll reference that after, but let's take this next call first. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Sterling.
Hey, it's good to hear from you, man. It's been a day or two. How's everything?
Man, I'm excited, especially about what happened with Jordan Crooks.
Isn't that just so wonderful, just inspiring, and a reminder, man. You put in the work, you get the support. You got, it's good to be able to celebrate with him. Right.
I'm telling you. I like, I was listening to the news and there was a little song. It sounded like there was a song that they were singing for him, and boy, I tell you, I just felt good hearing that, and the support and stuff like that, and I feel pretty sure he'll continue to be treated very, very well. I think our politicians will treat him well. The people will treat him well as well, and that's good because you got your athletes, you got the kids that got their dreams. I mean, you played football too, right?
Some of my friends will say, "Well, I tried to play." So
yeah. I played football too, but then again, when you're paid for doing something that you love, and you feel proud of yourself,
yeah,
and that sort of thing, and say, well, I'm being paid for doing something that I love, a sport or something, music, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good, and that would be good encouragement. Being paid and paid good. What other reason would you do it for? I mean, not just because of the love of it. You play football, you do sports, and then you get hurt, and then you got to pay your own bills, and that sort of thing. I mean, and where do you get the money from?
Mm-hmm. But this is where I think, as I listen to you, recognize that whether it's sport, but sport is a great example. You may use that sporting endeavor as the vehicle to get you further education, instruction, or something. So maybe it's a scholarship to a university that you play football or whatever the sport is. But then you are hopefully be able to participate in that for a long, long time. But in the end of the day, you're thinking about your post sort of sporting career. We got the news, and I've been sometimes hitting a little bit after the scheduled time. I do not want you, despite calling as you did, to feel like we're disrespecting you. Was there anything else you want to share us quickly, or do we just take the news?
No, I was saying, we got a lot of great Caymanians.
Mm-hmm.
Cayman produce a lot of great people, and we need to hold on to them and treat them right, treat them good, and recognize, a world champion,
Mm-hmm.
world champion twice, right? Jordan Crooks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, listen, we cannot champion our people and celebrate and encourage them enough. And him, his parents, his sister, but their parents need to be commended, and we as a society need to be reminded that good parenting means, investment and involvement and commitment, but also support. Sometimes they might just need you to say, hey, hang on, you don't need to cook tonight. We can send over some food. You know what? That errand that you need to do, let me help you with that. That's what sort of is infuriating when we hear people talk, oh, it takes a village. Well, are you part of that village, or is it a village of cannibals instead of, contributors? And we let pundits, anyway, man, listen, my brother said, say anything even more when learn to talk. Guy, let's take the break, all right?
All right.
All right, Bo.
Okay.
All right, gonna pause and we're gonna go to the news. When we come back, we'll take your calls. Join us after.
If they are talking about us,
living in your head rent-free all this time,
we must be relevant. Radio Cayman since 1976. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market.
On Tuesday night, a 3-vehicle accident on Bodentown Road near Midland Acres resulted in serious but non-life-threatening injuries for all occupants, including 2 women, a man and a child. 2 drivers were arrested on suspicion of DUI, driving under the influence. Initial investigations indicate the driver of a Honda Civic was racing another vehicle when the collision occurred. Good afternoon, I'm Dion Anglin with your headlines. In news elsewhere, Mexico's government has asked the U.S. to extradite a senior drug cartel figure suspected in the murder of a well-known journalist, Javier Valdez, in 2017. Valdez, known for his award-winning coverage of the drug trade, was gunned down in May of 2017. Mexican authorities say the journalist's assassination was ordered by Damaso Lopez Serrano, a former high-ranking member of the Sinaloa drug cartel. And Facebook has severely restricted the ability of Palestinian news outlets to reach an audience during the Israel-Gaza war, according to BBC research. In a comprehensive analysis of Facebook data, BBC found that newsrooms in the Palestinian territories in Gaza and the West Bank had suffered a steep drop in audience engagement since October of 2023. The BBC has also seen leaked documents showing that Instagram, another Meta-owned platform, increased its moderation of Palestinian user comments after October of 2023. That's a wrap of your headlines. I'm Dion Anglin.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
The DVDL Customer Support Unit is now open. Customers can book appointments for written and driving tests through DVDL's hotline at 945-8344. That's 945-8344.
Kirk Market's 12 Days of Gift Cards is back. Each day, 12 lucky customers will win a $100 Kirk Market gift card just for shopping at Kirk Market. Ho, ho, ho! You heard that right. Every day for 12 days with 12 lucky winners each day. Come in December 11th through the 24th and shop. You could win. And there's no minimum required. It's that easy. It's Kirk Market's 12 Days of Gift Cards. December 11th through the 24th. The countdown to Christmas is on at Kirk Market.
Hi, I'm Kathy Miller. Join me on Radio Cayman's Business Buzz every Tuesday and Thursday from 7:30 to 9 a.m. and the second and fourth Thursday of each month from 8:15 to 9 a.m.
Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. If you're a business owner
or part of one, Business Buzz is your source for the latest initiatives, developments, and varied viewpoints from the local business landscape. Be part of the Business Buzz with me, Kathy Miller, every Tuesday and Thursday morning on Radio Cayman.
The Business Buzz.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Radio Cayman Talk Today continues.
Hey, welcome back and thank you for joining us. It is open line as we go to the next caller. Hey, welcome. Thanks for sharing.
Mr. Sterling, good evening.
Afternoon to you, sir. How are you today?
Oh, sir. Well, you know, I'm in the east and I'm enjoying the weather. But real quickly, you read something just before my good friend Brother Brown came on there about somebody said that Flowers didn't build Cayman. I don't know who that person is, but I just want them to answer me the question. All of the buildings in the island, the homes that are built out of concrete blocks, where did they come from? Because I remember when I was very young, I worked for Mr. Flowers. And I also worked for Mr. Ernest Scott's dad briefly. But Mr. Flowers, you know, he had a bigger machine, so Mr. Scott eventually, you know, just stopped doing it. But up until today, I don't know. Maybe they got some other factory that I don't know nothing about that making the blocks. But I know, and I was in construction for years, and the only place that you could get a cement block in the Cayman Islands was from Mr. Clarence Flowers. So I don't know who that person was, but every building in the Cayman Islands, Flowers blocks done it. That's all I want to say.
But before you
Flowers block done it.
Right.
And I want somebody to correct me.
Yeah. But Mr. George,
I want him to correct me.
Yeah, before you go, and I'm back looking at the message that you're sharing. Is this one of the things where sometimes we, the collective, you, me, everybody else, right? We're not quite on the same page. We're not quite understanding the context. So I don't think there's any one individual anywhere in this country that would have any level of disrespect for Mr. Clarence, the family, or anything. The absolute admiration at their work ethic, and their thing, right? And again, nobody would even say that the blocks, and now that they have the ICFs and all the other products, it just shows innovation, industriousness. I mean, it's a template that we could follow, right? But I think maybe what was shared is that, again, we're taking a word and applying it and adopting it and drawing other inferences. So the physical building of something by hands are separate and distinct from the thing that is used to build that thing. So maybe a good analogy is the construction of the catboat. The person goes into the highland, make sure that piece of poplar or whatever they're going to...
Pop nut. Gawa or pop nut.
Right. And
or pop nut.
Yeah. And
make the timbers.
Yeah, and they bend it between the tree, and then they go back at the right time. You know, Mr. Ezra talks about cutting it, you know, with the moon and the like. So I don't know the practice. I've never done it,
and
that's
they
right.
would soak it and they would swell the wood too.
Right.
And shape it and put pressure on it and
Right.
leave it there for days and.
Right. So the person that is doing that, or the people that are helping to do that skill, that craft, that ability, that engineering, right? That attention, all the things is separate from the actual tree that is trained or the material that is used. You see what I mean? So you got two aspects. You got the skill of the craftsman with the tools, but you also have the material, the pop nut in this instance. One can't do the thing without the other. The tree isn't going to be magically a catboat. The boat builder, the naval architect isn't going to have it magically appear without the material. You follow me?
Yes, I'm listening, sir.
Yeah, but no. I mean, sometimes it's... Anyway, you made your contribution. What else you want to share, sir?
No, a lot of people here, but they don't know where we came from and how we came here, you know?
But okay, so we say that. Finish your point, and I want to ask you again, because you have been so kind to share with us, your age, right? So to finish your thought, and let me then ask you a question.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of people come here and they don't know how we got here, and stuff like that, and they just reaping and enjoying the pleasures and the enjoyment of the island, but they don't know how it came.
Okay, so
like I tell many people, I remember when there was no 7 Mile Beach. I remember that. But look at it today.
Hang on. You saying you remember when there was no 7 Mile Beach? When was that?
Well, let me turn it another way then. Let me put it another way. There was always a beach, but did you remember the weeping willow trees, what they call Australian pine trees?
Yeah.
So many of them.
Right.
There in the berries that used to be there, and the cocoa plums.
And the grape trees and the like. Yeah. So I'm grateful that you
All of
allowed
that
me
is gone.
to
All
sort
that
of.
is gone.
Right.
I guess I never defined it right.
No.
The beach was always there.
I hear you.
But it wasn't like what it was
in
in the earlier times.
No. And this is why I was very deliberate in asking, because sometimes we need to be specific. Right? And the reason why I did that is what I want to ask you now. If, as you have just said, and many do as well, people come here, they don't know, about this and that. Is that not on us, however that's defined, to make sure that that messaging, that recording, that information is accurate and available and is shared?
Yeah.
Take for instance, right? There are certain things that I would love to know how to do. If someone doesn't teach me, I'm not willing to learn. I'm not willing to go out and seek it and figure it out. Do you think I'm going to ever know how to do that thing?
But Mr. Sterling, there are a lot of people that don't want to know. They're not interested in knowing.
Okay.
That's the difference.
Okay. So
they're not interested. They don't want to know.
All right.
That's not important to them.
Okay. So what do we do about that, sir? You see, we can beat up our gums all day long. We can start carrying on and riling up and making a fuss. But at the end of the day, it doesn't amount to a hill of beans. All right. Let me not belabor it. You go ahead, sir.
We can't do anything about it if they're not interested and they don't want to know. You just say we need to teach them. If you don't want to learn, we can't show you. You're not interested in it. Well, what was this place before? Now, how it was back then? They're not interested in that. They come and find, the honey. The bees not here no more, but they find the honey, so they just eat up the honey and the honeycomb. Where about the bees or who put it there? That's my interpretation, And remember now, I only went to school half a day, and when I was going, when I get to the school, we're closed.
Well, I'll be mindful, sir, that sometimes what we say could be misconstrued, and others could be considering it to be contemptuous. So I won't, huh?
You remember, Mr. Sterling? You remember years going back when they had what was Archie embedded, the little comic books? They had Sad Sack. You remember them?
The Archie
comic
books, yeah. That
Archie,
particular character, I don't remember.
Right, Archie and all of them, the little small books.
Yeah.
They were funny books.
Yeah.
We wanted to know about Archie. We wanted to know about Betty and Veronica and all of them. So we had
Jughead,
to
the
read
Midget
the
Moose,
books.
yeah,
We had to read the books to know, I remember when I used to write on slate. You remember when you used to write on slate? Did you go through that era?
No, sir. I didn't. I would joke and say I remember having a pet dinosaur, but that was funny to some people.
Well, I remember when I used to write on slate, and then you just rub it off with your hand. Yeah.
Well,
look where we come from today.
Yep, that's
computer.
it.
And the honest thing I know about computer is Sterling said that's a computer.
Well, that's probably one of the challenges that we have, right? We belittle ourselves, we allow ourselves to be belittled. Mr. G, thank you for the time, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Sterling, one more thing before you go.
Yes,
very
sir.
quickly.
Yes, sir.
It's a lot of people. I'm talking about the elderly people.
Yes, sir.
that are not the new generation is in the computerized thing. Some people say that they call the banks or they call this place to get some information. You gotta go online. The old people, they say, I don't know nothing about that. I can't turn on a computer. Is there anything in place for these people? I've been asking that question for years. There's many people that they're behind.
Right.
And they're going to stay behind. Because
well, I'll share this.
People,
yeah.
Nobody is interested in the elderly people.
Yeah.
The old person probably living by themselves and they want something. To go to find out this, you got to go online and click this and click that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well,
so
I'll share this with you, sir. I agree that our society should exhibit greater humanity, humility, love, respect for all of us, especially for our older people, right? And maybe we stop paying lip service to so much. But the Department of Children and Family Services in particular, through the Intergenerational Hub, they had a number of sessions specifically geared to our elderly and helping them to become more familiar and comfortable and competent with using their cell phones or the computer or navigating. And again, the resource needs to be there, but we also need to be able to access it. So you are right, and I'm hoping that we'll have that respect for all of our people, but especially our young and our elderly. Anything else, sir?
Yes, sir. Yeah, but I mean, government, it would be good if government or other entities put something in place for the elderly people, because I mean, the elderly, but their mind is still good if you can show them. Because remember now, the computerized thing is not in their generation, not in their time.
Mm-hmm.
So, just like what you said just now with the people that come in here, we got to teach them and show them where we're from.
Yeah.
Well, the elderly people would like that too. Because it's sad that I hear a lot of people saying, well, they say you got to go online to get this or find this information, and we don't know nothing about that. Yeah. It's so sad. That's so they're going to stay behind.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you one personal question, right?
That's including me too,
Right. If there was a course, a presentation, an opportunity to learn more about the computer, to whatever extent that you wanted to learn about it, would you personally make time and attend, or
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I can hop. I'll hop and go.
There you go. All right, see?
You can start it for me and I'll hop and go.
There you go. Well, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so
problem,
much.
Man.
Have a good afternoon, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. And as Mr. George shares as we go in, just because of a person's age, and especially if they're 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, man, that's when they have a wealth of experience and expertise, that knowledge, that wisdom. If we allow them to feel included, loved, nurtured, supported, maybe let's reach out to them. We can learn a lot. Let's pause and take a break, and when we come back, more talk today.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Merry Christmas from Robert Wood Furniture and Interiors to all my friends, family, and clients. I'd like to bring you a holiday special on all our products in store with a very special Christmas discount. Save 25% on everything in the store and receive a discount on special orders. Please shop from December 16th through the 21st and enjoy all of our year-end savings. We are located in the Cayman Center on Orin Roberts Drive or online at robertwoodky.com. or call us on 949-7765. Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year to all friends, family, and clients.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Take some advice from your Aunt Angie. If you want to go scuba diving on your vacation, don't bedazzle your wetsuit. And you think you look great, but what you don't realize is that you look like a shiny, scaly fish. And it won't take long for a shark to notice you. Next thing you know, you're busting out every karate move you got. But if you're smart, you'll have CG medical insurance and get airlifted out to the closest hospital.
Get coverage for emergency evacuations. CG Brit-K. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
Ho, ho, ho! Santa here, letting you know that I can't wait to see you all at my grotto at Bayshore Mall. I will be there with my friends from Kirk Freeport from Thursday the 19th December right up until Christmas Eve. Check kirkfreeport.com to see my daily schedule. I will be in my grotto in the afternoon each day, but earlier on Christmas Eve, Santa will have a special gift and sweet treats for every boy and girl, and Christmas music filling the air. Merry Christmas! See you soon at Bayshore Mall. Love, Santa and everyone at Kirk Freeport.
West Bay residents, the Christmas festivities are coming a bit early. Ralston Anglin is pleased to present the West Bay North Children Christmas Party, Saturday, December 21st from 3 to 6 p.m. Bring the kids out to an afternoon with Santa, bouncy castle, food and beverages, and a free bike raffle. The West Bay North Children's Christmas Party, this Saturday from 3 to 6 p.m. at the Teacher Al Park, across from the Lighthouse in Bosun Bay.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. I'll take the caller on our WhatsApp. Welcome, thanks for calling.
Yes, Dwayne, good afternoon, and how are you?
I am very, very thankful. How about yourself?
All right, this is Nelly.
Hey.
I know you know me. But
Yeah.
I want to say something pertaining to DVL with you know when you sell a car and you transfer the car to the next owner.
Mhm.
You know how that is done, right? But nowadays you can just sign the documents in front of a witness at the DVL, and the book is open for transfer to the owner, right?
Mhm.
I'm just saying because a man hit and run me by Kamana Bay one day, right? And I got out of my car, and that man fled the scene, right? And someone was so, caught that what was happening and took the license plate, right? And I went to the police about it, and I come to find out that the car that hit me wasn't even transferred from the previous owner to the one that was driving the car that day,
Mhm.
right? And I had to end up going to my insurance and claiming on my insurance to fix my vehicle. I just saying, doing government need to stop that. When you're selling a vehicle, let the previous owner and the new owner sign those documents at the counter and get it over and done with. In that way, when someone hit and run you, the police will be able to find you, right? You understand what I'm saying? Because the owner for that vehicle had left the island from 2019, right? That hit me. And I never get my satisfaction. I had to claim on my insurance and make it go up. You understand? So I think government, DVL should do something about that. What do you say about that, Dwayne?
I hear the frustration, and again, I think there are things that we make more complicated than necessary. And if you, as the owner, whether or not you legally sold it, signed it, if it has not been registered, the question is, are you not still liable? But secondly, if you now, as the new person in that vehicle, and not because it's a small community, but you're in possession of that vehicle, is it that difficult to get redress or to enforce? Now, is it the bureaucracy, as you allege, or is it that we have now developed this laissez-faire ethos where it's a free-for-all and it's lawlessness and nothing of, sort of...
Yeah, DVL needs to do something about that. When you're selling a vehicle, all two parties be there to transfer this vehicle, and that law book is going changed over to the new owner in case anything happens. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, so, how would you?
Okay. I had to claim on my insurance.
Yeah. And I mean, it's probably something that, like so many times, where we just turn a blind eye because it doesn't affect some people, or to this extent that it becomes significant. But like anything, if it's a small, simple thing that is wrong, it's wrong. Doesn't matter the size of it. You know, right is right and wrong is wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
from you transfer that vehicle, that new owner is supposed to have that registered in his name in case of anything happening, you know?
But even so, and I'm not going to speak to it as if it's definitive nor authoritative, but John sends and signs the vehicle to Peter. Something happens, it's not registered. Could, if nothing else, in absence of Peter producing documents that say he's now the legal owner, could not Peter be charged with driving without, taking a conveyance with the owner's consent? So there needs to be a level of enforcement and at the very least investigation. But is there a reason why we don't do it? Ms. Nelly? I think the answer lies in a couple of things, and then it comes back to one simple thing. We seem to be willing to accept almost any and everything that has little or no value, celebrate it, promote it, and when anybody like you or others stand in the gap, instead of being championed and supported, you get castigated and maligned. Not a space to be in.
Yeah, and Dwayne, do you think you'd have a little time after the show to call me? I had sent you a WhatsApp the other day, but I didn't get no reply.
Okay, you send it to the number you're calling on?
Yeah, I sent it to this number.
Okay, so you call it, you send it. Okay, what I'll do then, I'll pick it off that, your number will be there. I'll pick it up from there and call you.
Yes.
Okay?
All right, please, Dwayne,
I will.
give me a call.
I will. I'll do that right after we end.
Have a good evening, okay?
Well, you too, and I'll talk to you in within 10 minutes. I'll call you from the number if it's there.
Right.
All right.
Okay, Dwayne.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
You know, the caller makes a valid point, and maybe it speaks to a number of things that may seem insignificant, but they may not be. And immediately we go back to the conversation with our friends from the RCIPS and NDC earlier, where there are presumably in number, now what percentage, what that translates into an actual quantity, but it's seemingly a growing perception that on our roads we have people who are not licensed. Their license may have expired, they may not even have a valid driver's license. The vehicle that they're driving, not insured, not licensed, not inspected. But it's happening. So whether both the driver and the vehicle is not legally licensed, insured to be on the road, or one or the other. If that is happening, why? An excuse is, well, they can't afford it. Is that justified? The risk to all of us? But it comes back to what the society is willing to accept. To what extent the enforcement is only by some legal means. I always believe, a community that's willing to accept any and every old thing, as they say, well, that's a reflection on all of us. What day is tomorrow? Well, according to our calendar, it says the day after today, which is a Thursday. We have had, hopefully, a high expectation that 4 of the MPs would be hopefully joining us at 1. We'll hopefully be able to confirm that. But if not, we're hopeful that we'll be here, and we'll invite you to share with us as we get closer to the end of this week. Have a wonderful, safe, enjoyable afternoon as we echo sentiments as Mr. Art almost starts and closes. On our roads, let's be a little bit more considerate, cautious. Drive with due care and attention, appreciating that you are not only risking injury to yourself or damage to your vehicle or to others. Each person has a responsible, and well, it's frustrating to see that you gotta preach sometimes what should be obvious. Be safe out there. Until tomorrow, join us after the break.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.